We are live. Oh, ain't nobody here yet, but that is okay. Testing, testing. One. Oop. I'm waiting for the people. I am waiting for the people. So I'm gonna. Waiting for the people. Waiting for the people. Wonderful. Doo doo doo. Mm. Ain't nobody here, but that's okay because we're gonna do it anyway. Okay. There's somebody here. I don't know who's here, but hey, OMG. Hey, yes, we on YouTube. We on YouTube with it. I'm so happy. I finally got my streamer access. Um, we on YouTube. Mama, I made it. I'm over here trying to send the link out. And you know what? I may have one viewer, Michael Bland. Yes. We love it. Okay. Let me send this link out. Um out. YouTube. I mean Instagram. Mhm. 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 Hey, Cece Carabas. Mhm. 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 We are on YouTube with it. I'm trying to wait for like a few more people to come in. Just cuz I got to do my intro, y'all. This is crazy. There's 3. Hey. Oh my gosh. Okay. Are we live? Yes, we're live. We are YouTube. Yes. We're making it. Hold on. Let me Yes, YouTube. Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to repost my flyer with the link. Not too much though, because I could get banned. We don't want that. No, 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 no. Okay. I'm posting the link. There's 4 people. Hey y'all, welcome to YouTube. We made it. Yup, we made it. Link to live. Okay, well, they say 3 is a crowd, but 4 is a party. So I guess we can, start. Right. Okay, so the eyeshadow look. Yes. So you can't see it on screen. We'll get into the look. Okay. I was inspired by glam rock slash a little bit of drag because I can't lie. I was watching a tutorial from Katya. I know she ain't watching, but one day. So I blended. You can't see it on because of the lighting, but I have yellow, like a greenish yellow. This thing is backwards, so it's kind of tripping me out. But I have yellow, green, blue, and then like a darker blue. And it's like glittery, but the lighting, and that is all right. The lip, I made it more red, but it's showing up orange on camera. Don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that. But the biggest inspiration was Ziggy Stardust, and you know what? Forza Party. The rest of them will come right on in because that leads us to the show. Ta-ta-da. Okay. Welcome everybody. So glad y'all are here. Okay. Welcome to episode 7 of Beyond Clothes. Can we get a round of applause? Hold on. My round of applause is, in a different language known as Bengalese. If y'all heard that, amazing. If you didn't, let me know. Yes, welcome to episode 7 of Beyond Clothes. We're almost at 10 episodes. That's crazy. 10. We are almost at 10. I got to do something special for the 10th episode. You know what I mean? Yeah. So last week's episode, we discussed a little bit of welcome party people. But last week's episode, we discussed a little bit about authenticity and effortlessness being the killer of perfection. This week, we are going to the Bengal Shake. This week, we're going to be discussing glam rock aesthetics and how they are showing up in 2026, which I've been stuck in the 1970s since 1998. And then when the 80s disco era came up, I know I was a sparkle in the universe somewhere. But I was over there, I was there in spirit. Not in person though. Anywho, yes. This week, okay, Beyond Clothes, the writer, the paradigm, and the wardrobe. First, we're gonna get into the writer, me, and the blog, Dan Says. So this week on Monday, I had wrote a blog post called The Colors of Rebellion, where I discussed how again, 1970s glam rock aesthetics are making a huge comeback, which they never really left, in my opinion. We'll get into that though. So I know last week, we were talking about authenticity. Now this week, it is a little bit about authenticity, but we're also going to be talking about a theatrical display of narcissism. Let me repeat that for everyone, a theatrical display of narcissism, which is what glam rock was for. Glam rock, 1970s glam rock aesthetics was known as the rebellion of the rebellion. In the 1960s, people were, we had that blue denim, really prideful rock and roll. The 1960s rock era was extremely introspective. Everybody kind of started to be deep until they were no longer deep. Um, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. But in the 1960s, the rock era again was very introspective rock. It was talking about all of the political issues of the world. We all know a few songs from back then, maybe, maybe not. The Beatles, 1960s Woodstock, very introspective, and it was definitely nothing but a drug induced hangover. Now that being said, the once it got closer to the late 60s, early 70s, we started to see the rise of artists like David Bowie, T-Rex, where they started to kind of come into the mainstream in full face of makeup, beat down, glittery jumpsuits, and they were here to call out the hypocrisy of the rock stars of the 60s, music wise. Because again, the show is called Beyond Clothes, so we're discussing things, you know, beyond the outfit. Um, so the 1970s rock stars, the glam rockers, Poison, David Bowie, all of them. They were really sick and tired of the hypocrisy of the 1960s rock stars. Yes, they sang about liberation, they sang about yeah, they may have sung about what else? The war, not wanting to be drafted and all those things. However, these same people, while they were, dripped in blue denim pride, they were not introspective really. It was a battle to see whose lyrics would be the most deep. It was also kind of a little bit of a tug of war to see, oh, I'm more introspective than you. And that sounds very familiar to if we fast forward it to modern day 2026. We have a lot of people trying to make R&B or neo soul that's lacking neo and soul. Just saying. But we have a lot of people who are stepping into blues, R&B, and a lot of like slower music that is known to be a little bit more romantic, a little bit introspective, and that belongs to the Black community. Okay? Drag Jack again for me, Mr. Harlow. Cause how do you not know about Brandy and Ray J, but you want to make neo soul, but you don't even know the names of a lot of neo soul artists? But that conversation is on the internet. So if you want to hear some of what I think, go on Instagram or YouTube or whatever you want to see. Cause who the heck is Monica? Thank you. How do you not know Monica? Anywho, we're not gonna get on that soapbox. We're gonna drag it back in because it's not just Jack Harlow. It's a lot of people. You have commentators. You have people who are discussing music without understanding the cultural significance of the music and why it was tied to those eras. Now, I'm going to tie that back into the 1960s, 70s. In the 1960s, we had a lot of rock stars. For instance, RIP, the late Jimi Hendrix, one of the most notable psychedelic rock stars of his time. His music, a lot of it, while it was instrumental, guitar solos, all the nines, we also have a little bit of lyricism where he does discuss racism. He does discuss prejudice within the Black community. He discusses, drugs. Don't do drugs, kids. But he discusses a lot of things, and then a lot of people, culture vultures, stole his sound and started to try to mimic it, so on and so forth. And music kind of became, it was the message without the depth. So the 1970s rock stars came on in. kicked the door in with a full face of makeup, bold red lipstick, platform heels, blue eyeshadow, and a glittery jumpsuit, and said, "You know what? You guys are posers. Get out of the way." Especially in an era where, because we all know the Vietnam War, the civil rights movement, and there was a lot of political, socioeconomic unrest at the time. Um, to loosely quote Poison, I've been working, saving every day. Gotta get away from the same old, same old. And if you don't know that song, go look up Nothing But a Good Time by Poison and you'll understand. Read the lyrics though. It's all about the lyrics. So these people, these rock stars, although the glam rock aesthetic was very, very surface level, um, their messaging was pretty deep. It's like escapism is a good thing sometimes. People don't always want to be. Yes, it is important to pay attention to the news. Yes, it is very important to, um, you know, continue to be educated on the things that are happening in the world. But it's also okay if you want to have a good time, go outside and party and all of those things too. And I feel like nowadays, at first, because we're gonna get into it, it's called Beyond Close for a reason. Dun dun. The paradigm, fake woke. Because we're gonna get into it. Fast forwarding to 2026, where we are in the righteousness epidemic, where everyone thinks they are more righteous than thou. You use plastic water bottles. Mhm. I'm looking at you sideways. You run your shower for like 5 minutes extra. Mhm. We're looking at you sideways. Society is almost in the battle, similar to the 60s. We are in a battle of a moral compass where everyone is trying to prove that they are holier than thou. When if you want to go outside and do your dirt and come back and educate yourself, go ahead and do that. Nobody's stopping you. And I think that we need to adjust our focus from the morale. Well, very slippery slope here. I think everyone is needs to do the work and stop talking about it. While it is important to discuss everyday things, important news, all of all of the nines. I think that you have to be able to walk the walk and talk the talk. And right now, what we're hearing is a lot of talk. We're not seeing a whole lot of people walking. We're seeing a lot of people talking from the comfort of their couch, inside of their living room, or on their bed, um, talking about, oh, you bought a freaking Bratz keychain, just an example. Right. All talk, no action. Exactly. You go for the next blind box, you purchase another blind box, but then you're going to go comment on someone else's page about how they bought a couple of blind boxes and they should be donating that money elsewhere. And now, while it's not on the responsibility of the consumer, when's the last time that you've donated to a child in need? That's what I thought. Any hoot, we, you know, I'm sorry. Anyway, but yes, we are in the middle of glam rock aesthetics, starting to pop up. Now, specifically for glam rock aesthetics, I do want to there's a difference between glam rock and drag aesthetics, although they do overlap. But glam rock took a lot of their aesthetics, a lot of their makeup from drag artists, which were political activists at the time, especially for the queer community. Happy Pride. Um, but they borrowed a lot of that opulence, a lot of the dramatic, the schematics, the performance of it all. Thus a lot of the art, the 1970s glam rock artists of their time inspired drag artists in return. Very different movements, very different aesthetics. However, they're cousins on their mama's side. They're cousin on their mom's side. One is straight though, and one is queer. Yeah, that's the best way I can describe it. Now we are now what about glam rock is coming into the forefront? Well, first of all, the makeup, the bold prints. So I've been seeing a lot of zebra print lately, which zebra print is going to and is making a comeback. We also see it in music, so we can definitely see it with Doja Cat. Her music, it's 80s, but we have to think the 80s would not have been as colorful and opulent as it was had it not been for the glam rock era. And although it was short-lived, the impact is very long, almost immortal, if you will. But we wouldn't have artists like Doja Cat, for example. We also wouldn't have artists like Lady Gaga, who is also inspired performance-wise and makeup-wise, or wardrobe period, by these glam rock aesthetics. And we even Prince himself, who is a rock star. I mean, hello, it's kind of obvious. And Madonna, they are 80s. Yes, we're not going to doubt that. But we also have to sit with ourselves a little bit and take into consideration where these aesthetics came from. Now, 80s rock and roll is different. The glam rock stars called 80s rock and roll just regular rock with lipstick on. It was a little bit more toned down. They weren't operating with as many theatrics, and it started to kind of revert itself back to the music once it hit a little bit further west, aka Merca. Because as we all know, our blue denim, you know, Second Amendment, 14th Amendment, Second Amendment, people, woo woo woo, go Constitution. They were not here for the theatrics, the makeup, all of those things. If they were, Freddie Mercury would not have been prosecuted as he was back then. Um, hello. Uh um, but yes, now we're going to get into dun, dun, the wardrobe. Because that's kind of where I was heading. But with the glam rock just movement, I'm seeing a lot of people kind of going backwards. So we see a little bit of early 2000s and 90s rock aesthetics right now with the silvers, the platinums. People haven't dove fully off the deep end yet, but I cannot wait till they do. Um, but a lot of people are starting to adopt more punk aesthetics, I would say, of the early 2000s and the 90s, which totally makes sense because, not to get too political, but punk is political. And this current political climate is the perfect time to adopt punk and rock aesthetics, period. I'm definitely seeing lots of chunky stripes. Yes, the thick, chunky stripes. I'm seeing a lot of zebra prints. I'm seeing a lot of polka dots, a lot of glitter. And again, bedazzling, maybe I have a problem with that. Only the bedazzling. Because, in the words of my good sister girl, sequins sequins can be tacky. I'm sorry. However, I'm not opposed to glitter. If y'all could see the glitter in my eyes, you would understand. But I'm not opposed to glitter. David Bowie bagged Iman in a glittery jumpsuit with bright, bold eyeshadow and platform shoes. So we're not going to do too much on the glittery. However, if you're going to wear a glitter jumpsuit, you cannot be homophobic. Yep. Yep, 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 yep. Um, but yes, we're also seeing the resurgence of bold colors, bright and bold colors. We're seeing a lot more color blocking, which 90s color blocking is significantly different than 70s and 80s color blocking. And I feel like we're starting to see a little bit more early 80s color blocking with like the purple tights, think like I Wanna Dance with Somebody, Whitney Houston, what was that? Early '80s. We're thinking Madonna, early '80s Madonna. We're also thinking Michael Jackson. A lot of these people got their aesthetics from the glam rock era, like Ziggy Stardust, who literally inspired artists to come. Now another artist or now we're gonna talk about a few artists that I think modern day do, and I'm talking about 2026. I'm not talking about, we're gonna stay within the last decade. Okay, that's where we're gonna stay. So Harry Styles. Hey Harold. But Harry Styles. Harry Styles has been embodying a David Bowie-esque kind of persona for the last few years. I only saw him in concert once. Best uh best concert ever. I I say that about a lot of concerts, but seeing from when he started, when he first separated and came out as a solo artist from One Direction to seeing where he is now, you can definitely see, and you will be blind if you tell me that you don't see the 70s glam rock inspiration. The glittery jumpsuits, the deep like fisherman neckline, like you know what I'm talking about? The fisherman jumpsuit, like that deep, like it's showing chest. A lot of chest. We also see, although she says that she pulls from drag, I'm gonna bring her up because you're right. Um, no offense. But Chaperone, Miss Chapel, I get less drag, I get more glam rock, respectfully speaking. I can see where the inspiration comes from in terms of the opulence of the performance, but her outfits definitely give um John Lennon, not John Lennon. Is it John Lennon? No, John Lennon is dead. Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney? Oh shoot. Who sang let me look this up. Oh my gosh. I'm bad with names. Benny and the Jets. Elton John. See, there's too many Johns. Pick another name. My goodness. Anyway, Elton John. Why? Um yes. Yes, but Chaperone, Chaperone, it gives more Elton John. You know what I'm saying? Instead of, Trixie Mattel. And I say that tiptoeing in my heels. I say that tiptoeing in my heels because not too much on Miss Chapel now, but it does give Elton John more than drag. I will have to admit. Um, Chapel, Chappelle. I have to say it in the way Chappelle definitely give Elton down though. Exactly. She embodies that 1970s glam rock. So does Harry Styles. I will say, Lady Gaga. I know I already mentioned her, but like the opulence left a little bit. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. We almost lost her in 2016. Everybody wants to talk about 2016 as this great era. We almost lost Gaga. Okay, she was in that blue denim. Um, what's that song? Not too much on that song, but in the shallow. We almost lost her in the shallow. Seriously. But Mother is back. She's giving us face. She is giving us the looks, the makeup. She is. giving us the glam and the rock. And if you don't believe me, look at her performance, her live performance, that concert that she did. Was it in Brazil on the beach? And she was performing Abracadabra. Abracadabra, abracadabra. Let me tell you, that's my song. But that definitely gives not just drag, but also glam rock aesthetics. Boy George. Yeah. 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 Yes. But we're talking about 2026. Um, who else? I lost my train of thought. Anywho, um, we're also okay, and I also want to throw in a little bit of forecasting. Doja Cat. That that's where my mind was gonna go. Doja Cat, and while it gives a little bit of, it leans more early '80s, like late '70s, early '80s, but her song, Jealous Type, if you look at the video and even if you look at the outfits that she's been wearing and the aesthetic that she's been taking on lately, it definitely gives late '70s rock and roll, that era where we're transitioning into the '80s rock. Um, but yeah, that is all I got for y'all. I'm not gonna lie. It's so glam rock, right? Jealous Type. And then her the outfit that she wore when she performed it live, where she was wearing, was it the blue tights with the zebra print belt and the pink? Like, let me tell you something about Doja Cat. Doja Cat is our for Doja Cat, it was supposed, it still can be. I cannot lie. It still can be. But she's definitely a for somebody to look to for forecasting as well. I think that she's definitely always been ahead of the trend curve when it comes to music, when it also comes to makeup, looks, all of the things. I will also bring up our, alligator queen, Dochi. If you have not been paying attention to Dochi as of late, you should, because Dochi has been emulating the black side of glam rock, which that's a side that nobody talks about. The Grace Jones of it all. The honestly, I'm definitely gonna throw in Michael Jackson in there because Michael Jackson got a lot of his aesthetics within, like, from the '70s, the thick, chunky stripes and all those things. He was hanging out with a bunch of rock stars. Like, come on. But he pulled a lot of his aesthetics from like his solo albums, all of that, from the glam rock stars at the time. So, but yes, back to our alligator queen, Dochi. She has been serving us rock and roll realness. Um, I mean, she is a rock star if you really want to think about it. She's alternative, and all the things. And then I want to bring up Miss Carter, Miss Knowles Carter at that. Miss Knowles Carter. I don't know when she's dropping Act 3, but it's going to be rock. I don't know if it's going to be punk, but it's going to be rock. And I know we all feel it. She is going to give us glam rock in 2026, maybe 2027. I don't know, queen. Feed us. We are hungry. Okay? I am like a starving bee in the summertime. Please. Anyway, um I know Act 3 is going to be nasty. And she's going to give us rock and roll and that glam rock feel that we've been waiting for. Now, that's not where we're headed now. I do want to say we're not going to be heading there, like, it's it's not going to be during the summertime cuz you're talking about the layering, the jewelry, it's very heavy, tighter clothes. Right now we're in the era of the island gals, the Zara Larsons, the Beyonce, hurry up, give us the album. Yes, Beyonce, hurry up. But right now, this summer, we are experiencing, the Eilingyal epidemic. I see so many hibiscus flowers, naturally colored, unnaturally colored. And I'm not against the hibiscus flowers of it all. Okay. I'm actually a really big fan of the Eilingyal aesthetic. Will I be participating? No. And I'm going to leave it at that. No, I will not be participating. But I appreciate the girls for giving us the pinks, the reds, the greens, the island colors, okay, the mango yellows, all of that. Um, yeah, hibiscus flowers, como la flor. Um, but yeah. Um, But yeah, we're coming back. We are going to see glam rock making more of its we're going to see more in I would definitely say coming into the fall. Like definitely fall, winter, ending summer, going into the fall, going into definitely all winter. Because you have to think it was all about the aesthetics. We're also going to be seeing I know I mentioned earlier a theatrical display of narcissism is had the best way I could explain glam rock aesthetics to people. Um, so we're going to be seeing a lot of original looks, I feel. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really excited. I'm excited to see some originality. Um, the makeup of it all, the earrings, the mix and matches, the jewelry, the accessories. Glam rock was all about, you know, when we enter into it, it's going to come with an era of authenticity in terms of, hey, I came up with this look. Yes, it's inspired, but you're not going to find this in the store or on Pinterest. That's kind of the era that we're heading into. And I'm actually really excited for that. The fur coats are coming back. By the way, if you live in the deep south, and it does not snow, and this is for all thrift stores, all the thrift stores, okay? Um, bring the furs a little bit further up, okay? Because we need the furs and lower them. Because why are you charging $3 signs at Goodwill for a roughly used fur coat? But that's another conversation for another day. Anyway, but that's why I think that glam rock is definitely going to be like a fall winter trend, because of the layering, the pieces, the colors. But this winter is going to be filled with icy blues, plum purples, magentas, fuchsias, and electric blues as well to complement um the more toned down icy blue, because I know icy blue is typically synonymous with I would say late 90s, early 2000s. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I would definitely I know typically when people think icy blue, they're thinking like baby fat, apple bottom, Tommy Hilfiger, because they were making those little baby blue sets, Chanel, and I'm talking about 90s. But icy blue, it came to us in the 70s, maybe a little bit before them, but definitely in the 70s, as far as makeup and all that goes. And yeah, I'm excited to see what's to come. I am excited to see what you guys think. Um, yeah, that's all I got for y'all. This has been I'm sorry. There's not much to say except, rock on, ho. I forgot I'm on live. Okay. It's time for me to go cuz I feel like I'm on call with my friends. Hey. But that's all I have for y'all. This has been episode 7 of Beyond Clothes. Thank y'all so much for attending. and I will see you next week. You don't have to get off the internet, but you do have to get off this live. Okay? Bye now.